new provider. It was required for me not this specific plugin wasn't required only create a plugin. It's also required change the Zap Analytics builder. So it changed the way we build the application. Maybe I can share my screen?
Yes, I will make you a presenter. You received the invitation?
Just a second. Yes.
Cool, we can see your screen.
Maybe you can explain us why we had some issues with the Firebase, no? Or we still have issues with that?
With Firebase?
Yeah.
I know some issues that we had in Televisa. It was related to the user counter. That when we moved from Epoxy to Firebase, Epoxy gave us a number of users that received the push, but it wasn't the real number. Like half of it, like 200,000 users wasn't really real users.
They send push for everybody, but
yeah,
not
only like 70% of the users got the push. So Televisa told us, like, look, the numbers dropped a really high resolution. So eventually, the problem was with the epoxy.
But we are using Firebase for push and for analytics.
No, I talked about the open.
No, because what are you talking about? The Firebase, no?
Elad is talking about Firebase.
Sorry. Yes, I'm talking about Firebase, but it's not relating for the push right now.
Okay, so Elad, explain us what you did, and then maybe answer what Kariti was asking.
Cool. So Firebase give us few tools. It starts from analytics. Now we integrate remote config, real-time database. There is a lot of tools that the Firebase can supply us. It's already include advertising. So I believe that everybody here knows Firebase. It's gonna give us a lot of tools we are able to use. This is the pull request that I integrate the Firebase. It starts from here. Maybe I can show you how it looks like from. Just a second. Basically, after you register yourself in Firebase console, you download a Firebase file, and we're able to set this file inside. We set a special location for inside the Firebase configuration file. So you register yourself in Firebase, you download the file, and here you can set the file. And once you set the file, when you build the application, if it's recognized that the file exists, so it set the Firebase core dependency, add a Firebase plugins. So this plugin is what it's doing. is on the compilation time. Is searching the file, if it's locally exists, is generate a lot of files that Firebase tools can use, and also the class path, and blah, blah, blah. And when it's building the application, I'm setting the dependency, setting the plugins, and the class path. And here, what I did is the file. This is the task of downloading the Firebase file from Zap server from the S3. So I relocated before the prepare app template. And now, after I did this. Now everybody that like to use Firebase tools is more than welcome. I can show you what I did in lately today. I did it. Just a second. I start to integrate Firebase remote config in Google Analytics. I'm using custom dimensions. What? It's okay, Kariti?
No, I'm asking you a question and I'm on mute, so you didn't answer me. Tell me, who should...
I didn't hear you. Please, again.
Yeah, no, because I was on mute, so... I understand it. But who should create this file and when we should create it? And maybe
basically it should be a project manager.
File.
You will have it from Firebase.
Yeah, I know I should get it from Firebase, but it's like my responsibility as developer, or we should
It comes up.
update the PM.
I believe it should be like project manager task. Is able to do it by himself. I will go to this console. You add. I will show you. It's not big deal. It's like 5 minutes work. You add a new project. Here I already create project called Analytics. And here in the project, I think here you can download the configuration, but it should be like here.
Okay, so
you can download the Google Services JSON file.
We tried to find a way to do it automatically, but they don't have an API. So the idea was that this manual work wouldn't be needed. But I hope that one day they will have an API and we will be able to do it automatically when you create an app.
But we also need to create a new project for each customer in Firebase.
Yeah, for each app, yes. For each app.
Yes.
Google project. It's the same project as the Google project.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
The parallel. You can use that. I think eventually they will move everything to Firebase.
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah, already now you're able to see that I'm using Firebase Analytics. Is never tested, but as development environment, you're able to see it in a moment. I'm here.
So this is the same as that we are creating the Google project for getting the GM Google Cloud GCM key and everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a project. So every client should have a Firebase account.
Yeah, but it's not must to. It's not mandatory. This is the reason, by the way, that over here I set it on demand. It's only if the Firebase configuration is integrated. I said the service parts or the the dependency and everything. If not, I'm not using Firebase. So they must set the Firebase file before the compilation, of course, and then is on compilation, I'm adding all the dependencies. So it's not mandatory to use Firebase, but I can show you that already now I'm using remote config for one of Google Analytics plugins. So if you like to use this feature, it's called custom dimension in Google Analytics, you must have a Firebase. You must do config Firebase. So the point is, you don't want to make every customer or every project manager to integrate Firebase even if it don't want to, but for specific features, if it's help you to use Firebase tools, I think it's a good tools.
Can you explain a little bit about what is a custom dimension and what is remote config?
Sure. Remote config, it's basically you add the parameters, it's key value, which could be the keys could be integer, boolean, strings, whatever. And I thought that I opened.
Is there a specific use case for this, or?
Yeah, I will show you. Basically, in Google Analytics,
we do not have a parameters.
just a second. Yeah, basically what we like to do here is give to every property, give a dimension, give an index. Yes, custom dimension. So what we like to set here, here. So for every event, we like to set its dimension. So
what is the use case? Why do I need to set an index for each event? What are the abilities that it gives?
It's help us. It's basically more UI issue. It's when you in Google Analytics, you should set dimension. And what we and when you add dimensions, it's look better in the UI, in the dashboard in Google Analytics.
Okay, so it's
sorry a lot. Why you should add dimensions again?
What?
Why should you add dimensions in Google Analytics? Because that's totally optional. You don't add dimensions if you don't need them.
Yes, it's optional, but it's help you to search better, do a query, smart query in Google Analytics. It could help you visualize the data.
Yeah, maybe you can open a Google Analytics dashboard and to display it, because it will be.
I think that the main idea of this is just to be able to do indexing on your data. When you are looking at the data,
like tags or something.
When you do indexing, it makes it easy to do queries on your data. So imagine that you are now posting millions of events, and you want to measure specific events. Without the indexing, it would be very complicated for Google to do the query on your events the way they work. So what they ask you is to give index for each one of the events, and then they can do the mapping. It's similar to database indexing, kind of. You think about it. That's the main reason.
It was clear the reason.
But you can show us in the dashboard if the people.
No, I mean I know the answer because I did Google Analytics at Money Supermarket, and analytics is the bread and butter of companies like Money Supermarket. So I've also seen how by adding bad dimensions, your data gets bad and you can't use it for anything. So I've seen all these things without having a data strategy. And if you just start adding arbitrary dimensions, your data quality is actually gonna get poorer rather than richer. Yeah.
So you think it's not wise to use custom dimension?
I'm saying that if you don't know what you want to use these dimensions for, don't add them. That's what I'm saying.
Oh,
You
yes, of course. Yes, yes.
If you don't need them, that's what I'm saying.
Basically, I'm not sure what the requirements for every project, but in general, I think it's required to understand a lot of the properties that we use in the events.
Elad, maybe you can display the Google Analytics dashboard and to show it how it look without the dimension and how it look with the dimension.
I don't have account that I already set the data.
I think if you will show how it look without the dimension, it will be clear for everybody because it's like just label and it doesn't make sense.
Guys, if you want to know about Google Analytics, maybe I can prepare a short presentation because Google Analytics has a very steep learning curve, but it's actually very powerful, especially dimensions. They're super powerful. So if there is interest, if you guys want to know about it, I can prepare something with visual examples, of course.
Yes.
I believe it's going to be much more easy for me because I don't have like.
Good. So I'm gonna prepare something. Let us know when and how much time you need, and you will present it to us.
Yeah, just is this fine for everybody? Is this an interesting topic? Because like it's not development. It's just it's actually analytics. It's specific for analytics.
It's okay. It's good. I think that it will be good for us. Just let's scope it in time and let's decide when we're gonna do it. And it will be very nice if you can do it.
Awesome.
Cool.
So what I just want to tell you that basically what I need is mapping each event or property to ID, to dimension, to specific int. And what I did, I use the remote config, set as a prefix for each event. It should be property, by the way, and set a number. And here, what I'm doing when I'm receiving an event, I'm on the params searching the ID, and if I find the ID inside the custom dimension table, I'm set the dimension. So I think it's nice tools, and I think from now on everybody able to use Firebase tools.
Cool, nice. Thank you, Elad.
Thank you.
Kariti, you wanted to ask him something, no?
I wanted to ask about the remote configuration. Like I asked him already. So.
No, you said.
As you see, it's dashboard tool. I believe that project manager able to use it by himself. Add params. You see, I will give an example.
Yeah, but I think help him understand why and how. Like, why he should do it. He should get an explanation about it from us.
Sure, we're able to create some tutorial. Basically, what I think I will create some maybe video tutorials or some documentation on the feature of custom dimension in general. So it was be include how to use remote config.
Okay.
Cool. Atanas, you want to tell us a little bit about what you did this week?
Yes, it's actually a very interesting story. It is about a bug, and like we had an issue with Quasi, Quasi, the Quasi app. It is for sub-Saharan Africa, many countries, I think currently 41, and one of them is Lesotho. And the bug was that only for users in Lesotho, the app was like loading, opening the splash screen, and then it was displaying a message. And this message was like something like Google Play doesn't support billing or whatever. When you tap on the OK button, the app is closed and nobody can use it in Lesotho. Yeah. So it was crazy. I mean,
Atanas,
yeah.
first you need
Yeah.
to explain to ignorant people like me what is Lesotho, because
Lesotho is a small country in Africa. It is close to South Africa. And I think that it was either Lesotho or Swaziland, but they are 25% of the whole population are HIV positive. Yeah, that's what I know about Lesotho.
okay, cool.
So,
I'm sorry, they're what positive?
HIV positive, AIDS.
HIV.
HIV. Okay.
So that's what I know about Lesotho. But they also use TV apps, you know, and like nobody in Lesotho could use our apps because of this bug, because it was basically blocking the app and like nobody knew what it was. And I personally thought that it had something with the billing permission, because like Google don't have in-app billing in Lesotho. They activate it by country, and this service is not available. It's just not available there. Yeah. So I thought that Reuven's fix would fix this issue, and Reuven's fix was to introduce the billing permission per app, make it configurable in Zap. Yeah. But I didn't fix it. So we were all confused about what was happening, and we asked the client to contact Google. Yeah, so they contacted Google with this message, and Google couldn't help them. Yeah, so it was really crazy. Nobody knew what was happening, and we were telling the client to go to Google, and Google were telling them to do something else, and like we got it a little bit out of control. Then I noticed that this Google Play message that we were displaying wasn't by Google at all. Like it was something that we were configuring in our SDK. And like I was very lucky to find out about this, because like in a very
It's kind of noisy in here, so
in a very short time,
too much.
So it was okay. So like there's a meeting in parallel, so let me try to get to another place.
So we had quite a few problems with this on Zap, which we had to work through. So that's probably about a week's worth of
Okay, can you hear me, guys?
trying to upload assets.
Hello?
Yes.
Cool. So it turned out that this was a message in our app. Yeah, and in our SDK, and it was in a class called IAB helper. Yeah, and this was the class that is checking.
Atanas?
We cannot hear you.
No, we lost him.
I did a few.
Can you repeat that, Anas? Because
Yeah, so the class that's dealing with this is called in-app IAB helper. Yeah, It's part of our SDK, and it is displaying this error, and this error is configured. The message is configured like Google Play error. You don't have enough billing services, and then I was able to trace another place, like in the SDK, where there was a method, check for in-app billing services. But this method was returning a lot of false positives. Yeah, it would say that in-app billing is available, while in fact it wasn't. Yeah, so this was executed like this was this message was displayed in the end of a logic, subscription-related logic. Yeah, and the Quasi app doesn't have subscriptions, but like it was getting into this path and it was displaying the error. It was getting to the subscription logic only if the app is not free, and there's no in-app billing services. Oh, sorry, there is in-app billing services. Yeah. So if both of these are true, then the subscription logic was run, and then the message was displayed to everybody, and they could access the app in Lesotho. Yeah. So I was working on a fix on the SDK. Like this is change the in-app billing checking method to quickly return whether it may be possible that the app has in-app billing, because the only reliable way to check for in-app billing is to actually use the in-app billing helper class. Yeah. But it is asynchronous, and I'm not sure how this will fit in our SDK. So it makes sense to have a method that quickly can say whether we don't have enough billing services, even though we know that we will have false positives. Yeah. So I reduced the number of false positives, and this was solving the case for Lesotho. And also we disabled, the moment we disabled, we made the app free on our CMS. This unblocked all the apps for everybody in Lesotho. It's really funny, like just a checkbox and it works. So it was a really interesting adventure with a happy end this time. So,
I have a question.
Sorry,
I have a small question. In Zap, we have a checkbox that we can set if there is purchases or not in the app.
Yeah.
Is it
that's true?
Is it help, or it didn't help in this case?
No, it just check if the app is not free.
No,
if
one second, but the Zap checkbox.
No, we don't use it.
Why not?
We are checking if the app is free. If the app is not free, then we're checking the in-app billing.
So why do we need the checkbox in Zap?
Because if the checkbox in Zap is to add permission in the manifest, and if you have apps that doesn't want to do purchases, they shouldn't have the users accepting in-app purchases permissions. So it removes.
But in this case, in Quasi the app name.
Yeah, this was happening for Quasi, but like it was gonna happen for any of our apps that were released in Lesotho.
No, I understand, but do they use the storefront purchases?
No, we don't have subscriptions. No purchases.
Why the app wasn't free?
I think that it was something related to an undocumented API on our side. Yeah, that like it was something related to the player, which I didn't implement for whatever reason, but like somebody configured it to be not free, basically.
So
no, we have just a second. We have we are deciding if the app is free or not in the CMS.
Yes.
No, but I think if we have a key in Zap, let's use the Zap key to define.
Okay, but we didn't have it in.
No, I know. I'm saying now fix it.
Okay, we can use it. But
can I just answer to this, Gil?
Yeah.
So it is, our CMS is a legacy system. Like everybody knows that we must drop using it. So yes, you can configure whether your app is free or not, but I have no idea. Like, well, I have little idea about what this flag is doing. Yeah.
What?
What this flag is about.
Question, Nathan. Have you have a session with one of the people in support on the CMS?
Back in September 2017, yeah. But it was very quick. And like the CMS is really a nightmare. Like nobody likes it. And this free, you can set up, for example, yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's a nightmare or not. It's a system that we use, and you should be aware. You should really be proficient in our CMS as a developer, at least most of the sections. It's at least anything that is related to content. So what I suggest is you to set up a meeting with one of the people of Chen, or with Chen, or with Brian, or whomever, Danny in support, and set up a 1 hour meeting that he will go through the CMS. It's doesn't.
We did that.
So
and I didn't set it as not free. It was Elisa, but it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter
because,
who it is, but
yeah.
for you to be aware of all these kind of things, it's better to.
They won't be able to tell me. They won't be able to tell me because it was a code in the Android app, and like I don't see how the free flag. I mean, I see how it may be related, but you shouldn't run any subscription logic. Only if you check that the app is not free. Because like if the app is not free, that doesn't mean that it has subscriptions. So it was a bug.
If the app is not free, just a second. If the app is not free, and we do have a subscription, okay.
We don't think Quasi.
Okay, but Quizy is also not a free app. It's a free app, so it shouldn't be signed as a non-free app. But if the application is not free, okay, so we have an in-app purchases, because if we don't have it, so it cannot be a non-free app. But if the app is not free, so we are checking in the Google account for the user if he has a subscription, and if it does have a subscription, we are updating our server. So this is why we are using this flow. So if you have an app that is not free, we need to sign it as a not free app in the CMS.
But it starts from Zap. If in Zap it's not free,
okay.
No,
okay, but we are talking about what we have now. Okay, we can update it. No, it's not related to his.
Some fixes, no.
He did fix it for this, but still, if we are deciding that the Zap is what we are using to sign if the.
If you don't have the permission, it doesn't matter what you will do in the CMS.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, of course.
It should, but it did. That was the issue. That was the problem.
In Zap, it wasn't. It was.
Maybe this was your problem, because maybe in Zap it wasn't free. It was free in Zap, and in the CMS it wasn't free, and this can cause this problem.
Okay, so on Zap it was configured to not have the in-app billing service. Yeah.
Yes. And in the CMS,
you can't have. Yeah.
And in the CMS, it's configured to be a non-free app. So we did this flow.
Okay, I'm sure there's a very good reason that there is this flow. I'm just saying what happened, how it was fixed, and like now we don't have a problem because it's fixed, yeah. But it was just an interesting journey because at one point nobody knew what it was, yeah. So that's my story.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Atanas. It's really interesting.
The guys.
It was kind of fun, in fact.
The guys in Israel, you want to update us? You are all together, right, Gil?
Yeah. I worked on Reshet last week. We have update. We are use the data binder, data source, plugins, and all of this. And that's all. I'm working now on Hot. We are also using the data source plugin, so I hope it will be better than last time. And that's all.
What do you use the data source plugin for Hot?
Problems.
Because
like,
in the new application, we have a Hot Play, a new application for Hot, and we are taking all the data source from Nagra. All the content will be there. So when integrating this plugin, data source plugin.
you will need to add probably Atom entries model.
Yeah, to the layout.
Not to the layout.
Thanks.
Types like VOD.
Ah, we don't have it?
No, we use only link right now.
When you
Sorry, guys. I actually remember why the app should not be free. Do you want to know?
Yeah.
Because it has a single sign-on, and it is using the old single sign-on infrastructure.
Okay, so it was
This is why. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Please go on.
So maybe we should update the code to use to check if the ZAP configured to be free or not. I think it.
No, but anyway, if you want to use the SSO only for this test,
Yeah.
check. Yeah. We can do it.
Okay. So thank you, Atanas, for this.
What you said, Kariti, about the data source?
We are using the data source plugin. We are taking the data source.
We're gonna use the new
From,
data source
Nagra.
plugin from Nagra, but you have VODs, and
I don't know. I didn't know that we support only link in the data
right
source.
now it's just to add. It's not a big
Not
task.
true.
Very-
Not true. Why you are not supporting VOD?
Atom
Yeah,
video.
but
Atom
video,
video. We have
we
We support video.
Atom video. Okay.
I hope.
we didn't do it.
It was already supported, the video, nothing changed.
Okay, so we will test it now with Hot.
No, it changed with the extensions. Everything in the extensions.
It shouldn't affect it.
Shouldn't have any effect. The only thing we are not supporting now is a program and a channel.
Channel.
And a channel.
Channel.
Program and
Okay.
a channel.
With the VOD with a live flag or something. Is live or something.
Okay. I will. We will test it tomorrow. The Atom video.
Good. Let me know. It should work. Shouldn't have a problem. The only thing that we are not currently supporting is program and channel.
Okay, cool. I will update.
Cool.
That again.
Okay, so I also worked on Reshet. We had some like small finishes to do there, not much big development. I do want to raise a question or an issue. We had to develop a plugin to handle the extensions of the. Okay, let me talk first about the data source plugin. The data source plugin uses the Atom feed model, and it adds a new field of named extensions, which should contain all the non-generic customer-specific data. And the way we had to deal with it was creating a plugin to support this. To our use case, we just needed to we just need to
Add tags, views on the on the cell style.
Just handling cells, and so that's what we've done. I'm sure that it's not the only place that should be addressed in this issue. For example, videos or whatever. But the thing that I wanted to raise is like I cannot know all the future use cases that will be coming to us. I can assume like
You don't need to assume anything. Once
okay.
you cannot abstract something by guessing. So
Yeah, but the thing is that I do create an interface, and once I created this interface, which is integrated in our SDK or whatever, it cannot be changed without breaking all the plugins. So I think we should.
Why we can use maybe an abstract class?
Yeah, that's one solution. Instead of using interfaces, then
you can extend it.
No, but if you extend an interface, you break the old plugins because they do not.
If you're going to update your
they do
generic,
not implement the new methods.
the idea will, this for example, it's something that Sarfati was talking about, should be outside of our SDK, and then it won't solve the breaking issue, but yeah, this is clear. Look, I tell you, the thumb rule will be the first one that is doing it will do a specific. The second one that will get to implement something similar should make it a little bit more abstract if needed. But don't try to abstract the things without really knowing what will be needed. Like it's very hard to guess what will happen in the future. So I suggest that you keep it as minimal as you need currently, and once another person will need it, they will try to make it more abstract.
So I guess that we should think about using abstract classes instead of interfaces. Or another solution that we can think about.
It's not a bad solution. It's not a bad solution. Yeah.
Okay, so that's one thing I did this week. Nothing interesting else.
Question: where can we download the Reshet app to look at it? Is it in Zap?
No, currently there's like a demo version, if we can call it like that. It's not from Zap because we didn't push the plugin that I talked about before because we need another type. We need another type of plugin from Zap.
I told you to use general.
Yeah, but we cannot use general. I mean, we should take a specific.
You need to look for all the extension plugins when you want to call one. You need them as a group of plugins. Let's say you have two different extension plugins.
No, more than one general. It's like on the specific entry point, I need a specific plugin that implements a specific interface. General does not solve it.
I don't see the difference between call it general or call it GIL, for example. What is the difference?
If you assume that no one uses general besides that, then it should work. But I don't.
Why you need this coupled mapping between an interface and a type? You can do a more high resolution mapping.
But if you think about, let's take a specific type of plugin like Zap root, okay? It is tightly coupled with an interface. I don't think you can work without it. You should know what the interface should do. Sorry, what the plugin should do. There should be like.
We can talk about it after. We can talk about it for the solution. Okay.
Yes, so that's it for me.
Tarek?
Okay, yeah. Yeah. So I've been working on Bellator this week, and the last week I've been working on the tablet version, and I'm almost done with both versions. I'm now doing some minor modifications to layouts, some padding, some margins, and so on. I am having some issue with the show. The Bellator guys asked that they can control a specific color, like I call it the tag color from the CMS. So they can choose it from the CMS, and I will have it in the link and the vote and all the items. But the problem is when it's set from the CMS, it affects the show, the tabs in the show. So it affects the background and the text color automatically in the show, in the tab. What is it called?
Show activity.
It's in the tab sticky selector. So we are searching for a way to solve this issue, so we can let them control the color using the CMS and not override the tab colors in the sticky selector. So Elad suggested that Elad and Gil, they suggested that we might have it as an attribute in the XML layout. Like, for example, we will call it ignore CMS color. If we set it to true, and then we will have some sort of a flag. And then in the custom view, we will make it ignore, having the CMS color.
Where you will set it?
In the view, in the XML, in the layout, in the pagers. What is it? This style.
Attribute.
Yeah, as an attribute in this style. We need a way that to let Bellator configure colors without affecting the tab background and the text color.
Tarek, I assume that the iOS people should have the same problem. So
I should check with the guy to make sure.
You should talk to them, because the feature of the CMS color was defined for both platforms. So the behavior should be similar in both platforms. And what I suggest before you go to the solution, you talk to the iOS people and you decide what is the expected behavior.
You can check the iOS version. We have it here, so we just can check it, how it's behaved.
Yeah, so that will be all. I'm sure. I think we will need like 2 or 3 more days to finish the Bellator app, and yeah, that's it.
Publish it.
And publish it. So yeah, it's drawers now.
We have 3 tickets for Tariki.
For me. Okay.
I work this week. I'm finishing the TV. The Android TV. I will need run your advice there. I sent you in the Slack something about how the Circle build the app.
I didn't see, so maybe I was on quiet or something. Doesn't matter. I will take a look. Okay, I see you sent me something.
That's how I set the default
flavor.
Flavor, if it's
you cannot set it in Circle as the environment variable of Circle?
No, you cannot override it. I can set it in Circle, but you cannot override it from the Zap.
Okay, let's talk about it.
If you will have a few minutes after that, will that be
right after this? No, I have to run, but we will talk after.
Okay. And that's it. I want to merge everything hopefully tomorrow.
This is not stopping us from having the Android TV working from Zap?
Basically, yes. I didn't merge yet the modular but I will sit with with Kariti to work on it. The team will see it, and I think there is nothing special there, so I don't see any.
I will take a look at what you wrote me and we'll see. Okay?
Okay.
Cool.
That's it.
Cool. James, you're still here?
Yep, I'm still here.
Cool.
Okay, so last week, nothing special. I didn't debug an entire country or anything, but I did work on adding search to the navigation bar for UI Builder apps. So that functionality is now there. It's still disabled by default. So that was last week, and end of day yesterday I started on clickable headers. So that'll be probably by the end of the day here. I'll have that implemented. So that's basically it.
James, the search is in the menu or it's the top bar?
Yeah, it's in the side menu, the drawer. It's up at the top, the bar.
Okay.
Placeholder.
So it has an open pull request. So if some of the people that are more familiar with the generic app code can take a look at it, it will be nice.
Yeah, I need to wrap up the test on it, but yeah, that one's sitting there.
Pablo?
Yes, I've been working this week in the same task that I was working last week. It's customer apps, and that use the UI builder. Then working on some cell styling, some minor crashes, stuff like that. So that's my update. Pretty short.
No, you have two more things to update, Pablo.
About what?
So, first thing, we added a feature in the. I'll show you. So for the Oya app that Pablo is working on, it's an app that is using the UI builder, and so some new features. First, Pablo, you would like to talk a little bit about the transparent navigation?
Oh, well, yeah, on that I'm currently working. I haven't done it. That's what I did not talk about it.
Okay.
Basically, yeah, it's getting because one of these customers, he wanted to put the content of the screens under the tab bar. Then we currently, the way the subroot module had this setup was like fixed to always the content being it means like below the tab bar. So now I am doing the changes so we can have it underneath or just below the top bar, depending on the setup, and the setup will be a coloring sap that depending on the alpha of this color, you will see or not the tab bar per screen or basically per fragment. Now that's the change.
One important thing related to it. What?
Where you said Pablo?
So
in the UI builder?
No, I will explain. The correct solution for it, I think in the next 2 weeks we will have a section. You can see my screen?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, so in the next few weeks we will have a section here that will set up the navigation. In the setup of the navigation, one of the parameters that we will have is per screen navigation configuration, like the color of the nav bar, like the buttons in the top bar, or any configuration that is screen related. So this will this will be the place that it will be. Currently, what we did, because we don't have this ability, is that according to the transparency color, it will determine if the tab bar, if the top, the nav bar will overlap the content or not. So this is the implementation for the current release. I hope that in the next month we will have all these parameters through the UI builder or through the Zap builder or whatever you would like to call it.
A lot of customer wants to have the ability to put the logo or text in the inner screen.
Yes, exactly. So once I will have the section, it will be remotely configuration.
Cool.
We will be able to change the colors, the tag, all the configuration that you have per screen. This is what's next. Another thing that Pablo implemented that he didn't mention is we currently in the screen picker, which is the swipeable tabs that we have on the top of the screen component, you can hide or show the tabs. So you can have a screen picker, which is like a full screen pager with the tabs and the titles or without. So it's a small feature, but it's a nice way to have a full page capability with a swipeable.
How did you edit? But from the manifest, or it's like manual work?
No manual work. It's done in the manifest. The thing is that the component manifest is not exposed to you yet, but it will be. So yes.
How user should know that he have tab if you don't see the tabs?
He doesn't know to know that he have tabs.
What he needs, he doesn't need to know anything. What he needs to know.
What do you
don't want to display the tabs? It just will be a swipe left and right.
How can swipe left and right?
Put on the image some arrow or something.
No, it needs some indication so that you can swipe.
Yeah.
But you can put it on the image that you display on the same style on the image.
I'm not 100% sure in what you're saying. I can show you various apps that doesn't have any indication. These actions of swipe right and left and top and bottom, it's kind of letting the user experience it rather than this. But again, it's a very design decision. Like you don't have to use it if you don't want. It's a flag on the component, basically, to hide it or show it. Cool. Guys, we are a little bit out of time. Is there anyone that I skipped that didn't talk? I don't think so. So, thank you very much for your time, everybody. And next week we will talk about the data sources, at least one part of the talk. So, Gil, Dror, prepare your part.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Bye. Have a nice day.
Thank you.